I just want to share this with you because it's so let me know in the comments, like, how do you feel with your meals, with your nutrition when the weekend approaches? I'm curious because I find that most of the time, I mean, I don't know, I don't have that problem, but I find that, like the way that things work, sometimes, there are a few people that tend to struggle on the weekend when it comes to, to food and to meals and really staying consistent. Consistent in my terms means being being mindful of how you show up when it comes to your food, right? So let me know in the comments because I'm curious. As I was saying, I'm in Canada and it's Thanksgiving long weekend. So I'm going to give you 3 things that can help you stay on track when it comes to your nutrition because it's important, right? Because I don't know. I mean, I know that I shouldn't say I don't know, but normally the way that diet culture does things on Mondays, they always have this thing of, oh, like, let's get back on track. Let's do this. You did really bad on the weekend. Now it's time for you to, like, basically get your stuff together. And it doesn't have to be like that. If you do these 3 things that I'm going to share with you, then you'll be fine and you don't need to. I shouldn't say you don't need to, but you don't have to feel guilty because you didn't, get off track, as they like to call it, or fall off the wagon, or whatever expressions that they use, right? So the first thing that I want to share with you is, this is something that I teach my clients. Practice what's called, I don't know who invented this rule, but it's the 80-20 rule. I do that. I mean, I've done it for years, and basically it's when you look at I'm holding a pit. I don't know why. When you look at your food when you're eating, instead of trying to diet, because that's what people do, right? Because how many diets have you been on where you're like, oh, I did this diet, I mean, I've done them too. I've done the vegan keto and all this stuff, and I'm just like, I can't, it's too much for me. So practice the 80-20 rule. 80-20 rule is where 80% of your nutrition is foods that are going to, the foods that are going to heal you, foods that are going to nourish you, foods that are going to give you energy. I mean, it's like foods that you need to be eating. And then 20% is whatever you want. It's basically like really whatever you want to eat. And, if you can get yourself to that point, then you start removing and eliminating the guilt that comes with food, because there is a lot of guilt associated with food, right? So practice the 80-20 rule. And then the second one is, this is something that I love as well, like really be present. I mean, I'm guilty. Today when I was eating my lunch, I wasn't present. But when you're eating your food, be present, be there, like, focus on what you're doing. Like, don't multitask, don't eat and then, scroll on social media and go through your phone and do all these things. Like, eat and pay attention to all your senses that you use, like your sense of smell, because when you eat, you smell the food, right? Pay attention to, the digestion starts in your mouth, like chewing, and then also pay attention to the different textures that, you are feeling or experiencing in your mouth, even just, like touching the food, because everything that you eat has different textures. So, like, be really, really present and focused, because when you do that, you are going to win. I mean, these are things that there are studies out there that have, I'm not just saying, this is not just some hoo-hoo thing. There are studies out there that have shown that if you're really mindful and you're present in what you're doing, I can't see any comments, but if you're commenting, this is recorded live, by the way. And I'm gonna, yeah. But if you're sitting and eating, really pay attention, right? Pay attention to to all your different senses, you know, your sight, if you're able to see, and then the smell, like I said. And then the last one is pay attention to how your body feels. Like, do you feel like you need more food? Do you feel like you have to stop eating? How many, like, have you been to a buffet? Raise your hand if you've been to a buffet. You know, they have those places where it's like all you can eat. And some people go there, no judgment, and they eat all they can eat to a point where they cannot move. Like I said, it's Thanksgiving in Canada, Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. So I know that, you know, people are, somebody out there is going to be eating to a point where they cannot move, and that's not, in my opinion, I don't think it's good to do that to yourself. Because for me, you know, when I look at food, food is really sacred to me because of all the stuff that I've dealt with in the past, right? So pay attention to eat. So you start eating, and then listen to your body. I mean, if you are present and you're also practicing the 80-20 rule, you will know when to stop eating because you're full. Like, your stomach will tell you that, you know what, Chedza, now it's time to stop eating. Or sometimes you'll feel like, you know, you need more food, and that's okay. You know, it's okay to honor that and be like, you know what, today I'm hungry and I'm going to eat more food, because we've been programmed to feel guilty about going for seconds when we need to. So you pay attention to what your body is telling you, not what somebody else's, you know, not what somebody else have told you to feel when it comes to your own body. I mean, once you start doing these things, you will realize that, you know, food is, like I said, the food to me, as you can tell, is sacred. Like, you know, the process of eating is such a, you know, deep spiritual thing that I'm really grateful for. So I hope those things, the things that I've shared with you, really help you to stay on track on the, I don't even want to say that because it's overused. I hope they help you to slay your weekend. And if you have, any, hold on. Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. Like, go in the video and leave your questions in there, and I'll go back and answer them. But, you know, my mission is to help you improve your relationship with food and just make it easy, right? Not easy, easy. Yeah, make it easy. So anyway, I'll see you soon, and thank you for watching, and